Hello, Boundless citizens, and welcome to the 8th episode of the Fortnightly. Picking up where I left off the last time, meaning Mrs. Star plays and the rock collecting event by host. A hammer rock and roll. Mostly rock though, not so much overall. So I went back to the Phantom of Opera to check on yet another idea of hers. It started with a few posts in Boundless forums and ended up with Mrs. Star building Valley of Thanks. Yet another street and a set of houses. This time it's to show appreciation for all help she has ever gotten from different players. Each house has a sign where a name of a helper goes, while signs put inside tell you what that player helped with in the past. Cool idea, and such an easy way to tell the world about all the cool people who help each other with different things in game. I found some familiar names there, and some new that I have never met before. And my most favorite person ever. Me. Putting names down on signs like this can actually be a way to remember those who don't play anymore, with a hope for their return sometime. Speaking of leaving Boundless, we had a few quitting announcements last week. People can have different reasons to drop Boundless, or any game, really, and who am I to judge? My perspective is that it's always sad to lose a player, especially that the community is small. But I always hope they will return. And hey, didn't we get 3 players coming back after longer hiatus? So in the end it balances out, as we wait for the game development to restart, and there are enough of citizens to keep things going in Boundless universe. So while saying goodbye to the recent quitters, we can wave hello to the returnees. Vanston, for example. I remember from my days on Australian Worlds, and I'm glad to see him back. He built a base on Future. Host and May are always so welcoming to any players looking for a place to settle. Don't be confused by this toon name. It is Vanston. There is this very Vansten-esque atmosphere about the whole place, of course, that I remember from the times Vanston played before. It's eerie and a haunted feel, and it made me expect weird creatures crawling out from Great Urt nowhere. By the way, Vanston is a forger, so it's always good to have someone skilled in mysterious ways of Centraforge back into the fold. Expect a forger's shop at some stage. Never enough of them, right? And there is another player from the land down under back with us, by the name of Rolko. Can't say we met before unless I simply don't remember. My bad. What matters is that it's another comeback and many may follow. This time we are talking about Lasagna native. Like myself. It was the world where I set my foot first. Ah, the memories. And here we are having Rolko back. Unfortunately, he had taken his break just before the reclaim feature was introduced. So no items for him to get back and reuse. Pretty tough start now, although maybe there is something exciting about the fresh start. Probably depends on the person. Anyways, Boundless wouldn't be Boundless without people that are ready to help. And I offered help as well. Portal blocks and shards for a fast connection to the universe, and a quick tutorial on how to open a portal. You wouldn't believe how a long break makes you forget things. Then some forged tools as well, And as we talked, I discovered other needs I can help with. It's so easy to forget how many different things one needs when starting from scratch. So, we went to my town and I gave Rolko some calls and coal for Spark and teaching pies on top of it for more fast progression. So, good luck, Rolko, and see you soon in game. I'll be definitely checking on you and how you build up. Last but not least, Ross. I remember his name and profile picture from the forums at least. Apparently, he was a resident of Trier when he played last time. This time, Ross landed on Beacon. We didn't manage to meet before the video was ready, so I can't show you much here, but he did share his plans to dig down to the mantle level to build things up from there. Maybe more in literal sense, actually. You could say the only way is up from there for him. Okay, all that leaving and coming back business synchronized perfectly with the how long have you been playing topic. It became my favorite to read for a couple of weeks, a nice gallery of older and newer players there with some interesting details about their timeline in Boundless. Although I hoped more would replay to the topic. I really like to read this kind of stories, topics that make people share where and when they started or how far they had gotten in game. Also makes me think about topics such as hit level 1000 or how many hours. Both kind of topics had a few different incarnations actually over time. It always make a nice read for me at least. Okay, on to the next thing. A birthday hunt of Hazel. I actually took part and I rarely go to large group hunts. But this one was a bit different as Hazel decided that the birthday would be a great excuse to get some cool gifts. The idea was that all participants give away their Urt stones as the birthday present. Hehe, joking. It was actually different way around. Hazel decided to spice things up by making a prize draw every few regions the hunting party covers, and give Urt to the lucky winners. So as we gathered, we were asked to pick a number, which would then be used in prize draws as we hunt. And there we went chasing Urt. It was an easy, chilled out kind of hunt on a low tier world. And even though my number didn't come up in any of the prize draws, Hazel gave me a small parting gift when I had to leave. Such a great individual, Hazel is. Happy birthday, Hazel, once again. Okie dokie, my dear Boundless citizens. Time for the usual gameplay footage to show what I've been up to around my place. I spent a lot of hours building around that big lake with a large cliff, not very far from my town and just at the feet of the Point Zero, the monument I showed you in one of the previous episodes. First I had to finish clearing the water. I had some of it done, but now I got to the moment when I had to decide how much of it I want to get rid of, actually. Initially I was taking 2 plots of it from the top, with the idea of having 2 water levels to create a wide waterfall more or less in the middle of the lake. Then I realized there are a few nice trees that would still be submerged, so I went 2 more plots down. But then the lake really shrinked a lot, so I eventually settled for 3 plots of water to remove from the top. And I also decided to have 3 water levels and 2 waterfalls. So first one is 2 plots high, and then a bit further there is another one, at this time only 1 plot high. As you can see, a lot of bare slopes has been uncovered. I will have a lot of work terraforming around, planting grass and flowers and whatnot. For now I only put placeholder gates to some builds that I plan for the cliff islands. Well, some of them are away from the water now, after I removed a lot of it, so they don't look like islands anymore. But you get an idea. The whole biome is called Cliff Islands, as far as I remember. Then I started to work on that large waterfall, placing bridge across, adding pillars where water flowed through holes to make things more interesting. Then towers on both ends of the bridge, and again water running through. One of the towers is smaller as it sits on higher ground, so things are not symmetrical. But that's okay, it's not what I aimed for anyways. I let the nature dictate some of my building plans. The cliff islands will be perfect for hanging gardens of sort. I will make tunnels, stairs and balconies all interconnected inside, with foliage and other floral decor outside. I hope to make it look okay. Some ideas look great in my head, but then I either struggle to execute it or things simply don't look as good when eventually materialized in the blocky world of Boundless. Well, time will tell. And then there is the main build laid on water surface to enclose the top side of the lake. I have something in mind fairly clearly, but need to decide on details like height of the particular parts. I want the holes get higher every 2-3 plots. So it's just a matter of trying things out and getting proportions right for a nice harmony. Definitely a lot of work ahead. It's scary and exciting at the same time. I will definitely keep you posted as I work on it in next weeks, although I tend to jump between different projects to keep the burnout at bay, so I might be showing something else the next time. We shall see. Anyways, for now that is all. As always, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate all your views and likes and subscriptions, of course. If you like this kind of regular updates from my Boundless playing time and you haven't subscribed yet, please do. I will see you all in the next episode. For now, remember to stay boundless.